On behalf of all of Nebraska FFA, I'd like to wish you all a happy National FFA Week.
Good Monday morning. On the Rural Radio Network, I'm Alex Makovica. This week, celebrating the over 1 million student members in nearly 9,500 chapters of the National FFA Organization. National FFA Week kicked off yesterday, and it's celebrated annually during the week of George Washington's birthday. Nebraska proudly boasts about 12,000 members in over 210 chapters, and all month long, the Rural Radio Network has been celebrating Nebraska's own FFA members.
Stick with the challenging things. What's challenging helps you in the future because you'll learn to problem solve, and it's not just like what happens now, it'll relate to your future career.
That's Noah Miller of the Hampton FFA chapter. In the East Butler FFA chapter, Courtney Tayrell says,
"You just got to do what you love. Like, if you're passionate about something, just follow through with it."
You're probably familiar with the Future Farmers of America. It was founded by a group of young farmers back in 1928. Their original mission was to prepare future generations for the challenges of feeding a growing population. It eventually taught the world that agriculture is much more than planting and harvesting. It's a science, a business, an art. So today, FFA is for students who want to engage in agriculture and aspire to be farmers, teachers, doctors, scientists, business owners, and more. For that reason, the name of the organization was updated to the National FFA Organization back in 1988. FFA today continues to help the next generation rise up to meet those challenges by helping its members develop their own unique talents and explore their interests in a range of ag career pathways. Happy National FFA Week from the Nebraska Soybean Board Studios, brought to you by Nebraska soybean farmers and their checkoff. It's the end of an era on the South Plains. After 70 years in operation, Lubbock Feeders has announced it will close, citing ongoing economic and regulatory challenges. The feed yard opened back in 1955 and fed more than 5 million head of cattle. It relied heavily on cattle imports from Mexico. But of course, since late 2024, the U.S. Department of Agriculture has closed the southern border to live animal imports due to concerns over the spread of New World screwworm. Also, that, combined with historically low U.S. cattle inventories and rising costs, they said the loss of that supply proved unsustainable. The yard will finish feeding its remaining cattle before shutting down. Ripple effects are expected for area farmers, truckers, and other ag businesses that are tied to that operation. The nation's high court rejected the president's tariff authority. Steve White reports.
President Donald Trump has argued trade was out of balance and tariffs were his tool of choice. But now the Supreme Court says the administration overstepped the bounds of presidential authority. Market analyst Mike Zuzolo of Global Commodity Analytics says it's simply too early to draw firm conclusions.
And even in today's algo trading world, Steve, I don't think we can digest this.
Zuzolo says one immediate concern is how trading partners respond. He points to South Korea, a major buyer of U.S. corn and meat, signaling that country is reviewing its position in light of the ruling. Zuzolo says the tariff strategy had contributed to a weaker dollar, something typically supportive for commodity exports. If that trend reverses, it could add pressure in an already uncertain marketing year. He calls this a multi-day story that farmers will need to factor into their marketing plans.
Thanks, Steve. You're listening to the Rural Radio Network.